Interviews and commentaries are for entertainment only. The views and opinions expressed therein are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Sheranian Communications, KHQN, or Utah Valley Live.
This is Pat Sheranian. We're back, and again, I'll remind you that our shows have changed from morning and noon to 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7, and we're now in the last half of the 4 to 5 hour. And I have a great new person with me. I couldn't get off the phone this morning. No, he couldn't get off the phone this morning because we started talking, and he was so interesting. I thought I need 2 hours, and we have a half hour. So I want to go right to it. This is Dr. Darren.
That's correct.
Obrey.
You've got it.
I got it. Obrey. It's spelled O-B-R-E-Y, but it sounds like it's O-B-R-E-E. Is that
correct.
Right?
That is correct.
Okay, you got that? Okay, everybody raise their hand. Say yes, they have it. Because he's somebody we all should know, and if I can do my job, I'm going to wind up getting him on the air with us because he's a chiropractor, but he's more than a chiropractor in so many ways. So let me start right out by doing what I usually do, and that's sharing with you who he is. And so if you'll just see the camera up there, and that's the person across the desk from us.
Okay, perfect.
And let's talk about your background and how you got into medicine, so to speak, or into the chiropractic world.
Well, you know, chiropractic, I didn't use it much growing up. My dad used chiropractic care, and I used to watch the chiropractor adjust his hips, and I thought that was kind of funny. But playing sports in high school, a little bit in college, tends to give you some injuries, and eventually I used chiropractic myself. I've always been kind of a holistic thinker, an athlete, an avid outdoorsman, and so the chiropractic philosophy of a holistic health kind of caught my attention, and then after doing some observation, I really thought this is what I want to do, and after I was done at BYU, that's where I ended up.
Where did you go to school? Back east?
I went to Logan Chiropractic College in St. Louis, Missouri, actually.
Yeah, that would be the Midwest.
That's correct, right?
But I've heard
right off the Mississippi River.
Yeah. Y'all talk Southern down there a little bit also?
The further south you go, which we've lived in Southwest Missouri, you really start to pick up an accent.
Well, I was born in South Carolina, so anybody that has an accent, I'm related to them. I claim them whether I should or not. Well, I'm glad that you did this. Now, you have an interesting story of you came and you went and you came back.
That's correct.
And I want to cover that very quickly because we may have some listeners that are going, thought he'd moved. And so we're going to clear that up, and because he's back in town or at Pinnacle Park, which is a really lovely location. We're going to give you the exact location and the phone number, so get your pen and paper in a few minutes because you're going to want to meet this man. So let's talk about you went away and you came back.
Well, I practiced in Springville, here just down the street.
Just down the street, Springville.
That's right, for almost 10 years. And because of some disabilities that a couple of my children had, the youngest boys, we decided to put them in a private school out in Springfield, Missouri. And so to get some help there, and my wife is from that town, so her family was there. And we made the move, sold everything we had, and put the boys...
From Springville to Springville?
Springville to Springfield,
okay.
Missouri.
Okay.
And St. Louis. Almost every place we lived starts with an S. So we went there for the special schooling. I sold my practice, and then now we're trying to come back. The older kids are coming out to BYU, and this kind of feels more like home to us. And
so you're back.
The air's a little drier out here, and there's some good mountains to hike, so we like that.
Good people out here. Let's do this. Let's give your address and how to get to you, because you've got a great location in Pinnacle Park, which is just off of State Street, right on the Orem-Provo Hill. And so let's give that address and a phone number.
Yeah, it's really, for those out there that are familiar with the area, the Provo-Orem Hill, everybody knows where that is on the west side. That's the Pinnacle Business Park. It's 1928 north, 1120 west.
Okay.
And right as you come in with the big sign, Pinnacle Park, we're right there on the left, and there's a big chiropractic massage
You
sign.
would have to make a turn not to run into you.
That's pretty much it. It's big. It's a big blue chiropractic massage sign. You can't miss it.
Good, that's you.
That's us.
Now, you have a massage...
I say us because I have a massage therapist that's working with me.
I was going to say, you have a massage therapist there also.
Yep, she's been doing it for 14 years. I've been a chiropractor for 16.
A lot of experience.
We know what we're doing.
Fall off the truck.
We know exactly what we're doing.
Well, I know that I want to visit just a minute or two about your chiropractic practice and the types of things that you feel everybody can use, but then I want you to talk about their diet. I want you to talk about food and diet.
Okay.
Because we are learning more and more that what we eat is who we become, or who we pass away as, because we didn't or eat the right thing or cut out sugar and white. And everybody knows that. Cut out the sugar and white bread to start with. But there's more to it than that. So share some of this with us in conjunction with your practice.
I'll start with my chiropractic philosophy
Okay.
first. For me, it's very simple. It's all about mechanics and neurology. So if a joint in your body has lost its range of motion, we focus on regaining that range of motion through what we call adjustments or spinal manipulation. We use some therapies on the side to relax the muscles and increase blood flow to the area. And that's important because as your body moves, your brain needs to understand where you are in space and time, and that's the neurology or the nerve component. The joints contain thousands of nerve endings, all firing off every time your body moves. If you lose that motion, you're losing that communication between the brain and that body part. So we try to reestablish the motion of the joint and the integrity of the joint so that the neurology comes back to normal and your brain starts functioning normally compared with that body part that it's interacting with.
Sending the right signals.
That's exactly what it is. And of course, if we move into the nutrition side of it, your body needs the right chemistry too. And
this is what people don't know.
Well,
they really don't. They want to know.
They want to know, and some people do know. I think it's that knowledge is not always king. It's the motivation that matters in getting into a good lifestyle.
Raise my hand on that one. Okay.
And that's why I call myself a lifestyle coach, because I try to teach people, that there's a different paradigm or way of looking at nutrition and what real food is.
And what does it mean when you say lifestyle coach? Not what you're saying, not what the modality is, but are you lecturing? Are you giving classes on it? Tell me how that's working.
We haven't started the class. I've lectured on this to groups, and I continue to do that. I'm going to move into an area where I will do individual coaching, and we'll lay out a person's particular lifestyle, the way they eat, the way they exercise, and find out where the deficits are. And what they do with their
emotions.
Basically, find out where the deficits are,
right,
and try to retrain not only their way of living each day, but their way of thinking. They have to look at food differently. They have to look at exercise differently. Every individual is different, and so we're going to take that
Do
at individual.
you have room over there to hold classes, or can you just start?
Oh, small classes where I am. But if there's a large response, then we'll we can always rent space somewhere.
A space. I have space here.
And bring in a larger.
As you're going through this, I've been really successful at practically everything I've ever wanted to do. My Achilles heel on all of this has been the weight. I was 115 pounds going through high school, and I maintained that through all the years that I modeled, all the years that I was acting. Member of Screen Actors Guild. I was busy all the time. I had 5 children and lost the weight back, and then one day I didn't. I didn't lose it.
It always comes down to the metabolism problem.
And it is, and so I read where everybody says, well, if you just eat a little bit more 6 times a day, and guess what? I gain weight if I eat a little more. And then to lose weight, you go on the HCG, and then when you stop, you gain twice what you ever possibly, unless you lock your mouth shut with a lock on it and chain it to death, because nobody can maintain the 500 calories. It's just very difficult.
And really the secret to that is it's not, eating 6 times a day is important in small portions, not large portions. But it's how you combine the food. And then the food itself is key. The food, I teach people that, what you eat eats too. And so whether it's an animal product or a plant product, it is eating and it is breathing. And so you want to be careful where you select your food. And then we want to increase the metabolism. So it's about putting those certain types of foods together at certain times of the day.
Okay, then let me ask this. Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers and nutritional whatever, they're all claiming that they can package all of this together and send it to you in a box. And that these have all been weighed out, and that's going to cost you only $350 a month or something. But it's only good for as long as you're ordering.
That's correct.
And you may lose some weight on it, but if you don't have the science and the understanding behind it, then you're just going to go out and repeat it, which most people do.
Yeah, I wonder.
So I'm going to get to the question here. So the question is, what you teach in your lifestyle classes, you walk a person through this thing till they get it?
That's correct. It's coaching. Just like a football coach is going to train their player to be a better player, and he or she is going to motivate that player, and they're going to teach them techniques, and they're going to watch them and say, you know what, you almost got it, but not quite, so let's make some adjustments here. Lifestyle coaching is that way. You're going to lay out the techniques, which is how to move the body the right way, and how to put food into your body the right way, how to select it, what real food is compared to a lot of this GMO and the fake food that we're getting in the supermarkets and so forth that is causing so much weight gain and so much.
But everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's in a hurry.
That's a problem. You're not going to fix everybody. But for those individuals that really are tired of feeling tired, they're tired at the end of the day, they're hurting, they say there's got to be a better way. And this is what I hear from my patients.
Well, I really believe, I don't know about everything, but I've watched people who've had cancer, and most of my friends are A-type personalities. They're going. They're high stress. Mm-hmm. They're contained people. They're very polite. They choose and pick their words carefully, and they stuff everything else that's going on inside of them. Some gain weight, some lose weight, but they've all passed away, a lot of them, with cancer here or there, because to me it just has to do with stress, and then after a while they're not eating right on top of that.
Well, you bring up a good point. Stress, there's two types of stress. There's
good. Now I'm going to learn about another one.
There's distress, and then there's eustress.
Okay.
Eustress is the good kind of stress. So it really, when we talk about lifestyle, it comes back to planning.
Okay.
If you don't have a plan, you don't know where you're starting, you don't know where you're ending. And so when you're talking about...
I used to teach that, as a matter of fact, for sales. It's true.
Something
if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you go. Right, absolutely.
Yeah, he talks about that in his book,
right.
And I'm a huge Covey fan. I think he brought up some great points.
I worked there for about a year.
It's too bad he's gone.
I know we miss him.
But he brought up a good point. You got to have a plan. You got to know where you're starting. You got to know where you're ending, and that includes the way you eat, the way you play, the way you exercise, and the way you work. And so some people are all or nothing. It's and they need to just kind of balance that out on that spectrum of life. You need to balance that out, and that's a tough thing to do.
Well,
but you start with a plan.
Well, I was going to say that's an easy word to say, balance, but it's getting to it. It's getting to it and then making a habit out of it.
That's correct.
I've been swimming every morning. Now we're changing times, and things have changed, and I didn't get there today, and I didn't get there yesterday. And I thought, I know that if you go 2 weeks without doing whatever it is that's been your habit and that you've learned to do it, your body will say, I don't need to do this anymore, because it's getting in that routine that makes the difference. And I have to catch myself about every fifth day and say, do you really want to do this? You really want to get up at 7 o'clock and go swim? Go do it. Go just do it.
Well, and that makes you a normal American. Because as we as Americans, and anybody in the world, sometimes the good gets in the way of the best. And again, that's another Covey thing.
The good gets in the way of the best.
The good gets in the way of the best, and that comes back, another Covey point is where you have to find out where the best is in your plan and stick to it in that box. And like you say, you talked about forming good habits. Well, that's what this is all about. You find out what your habit is that you want to perform or that you want to gain, and then you keep practicing, and it will take a long time. It will take a lot of effort, but eventually what you find is those good habits are formed, and then you really start getting into a routine that you just don't want to break out, or you can't break out of.
Well, and you almost have to make an effort, which I've done several times.
It's all about, life is about effort, and those out there who are willing to put their shoulder to the wheel will
Put in
achieve
the
that.
effort.
They're going to achieve it.
Well, we're in the middle of watching the Olympics, and that is the proof.
There's a good motivator.
It is.
To watch these athletes and see their bodies and think, whew, I'd like to look like that.
Or I did once, and why didn't I do something with it while I wasn't motivated? I need your phone number.
It's area code 801 377-2344.
That's an easy one. All right. Now, you're available to make appointments. They can call you.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 and 2 to 6. And
Okay, so
we do other
take a
appointments.
lunch break in there.
We take a lunch break unless there's a patient that has to get in during those times.
Okay.
And, we're just in our third month, or just finishing up our third month here in Provo. And so we're willing to, bend those hours,
Bend them a little
rigid
bit.
flexibility
Okay.
when it comes to scheduling.
And let me repeat this phone number. It's 801-377-2344.
That's correct.
That's an easy number, 377-2344. And I'm going to just say this, make an appointment, come see you, but I'm also interested in having you, maybe I'd like to go through one of your private classes. I've been to so many meetings you can't imagine. I've held meetings. I talked about weight. I've coached people myself, but I learned something. Even coaches need coaches. And when you slip off of your habits and they begin to be so comfortable that it's hard to get back.
I'd like to make a point, too, that even though you have a coach, nobody can do it but you.
Oh, won't you do it for me?
Yeah.
I'm such a nice person.
You have to get in there and do the work. The coach is just there to pat you on the back and sometimes kick you in the butt.
Yep, that's it, to make it happen. But I think it's wonderful. And then it's learning about the food. I have read so many books. This one contradicts this one contradicts that one. And it's really hard to know what to do. I go to the supermarket, everybody does it anymore, and you read on the back and you think, well, now wait a minute, I'm not supposed to eat that. I'm supposed to eat this, but nobody has it exactly the way it's supposed to be. And I learned running a little supermarket a few years ago, a health food store, organic does not necessarily mean organic.
That's right. You have to choose your food carefully. And in today's day and age, you're not going to be able to eat organic 100%. That's just not going to happen. That's not reality. But this is an eating philosophy that you adapt and then you practice. And you're not going to be perfect at it at first. Everything that I teach, I struggle with. When I talk to patients about their eating habits and how they should set up their food, I only do it about 70-80%. I have done it close to 100% at times. I've lost a tremendous amount of weight doing this program. My flexibility has increased. My energy. I'm 47 years old, but I can do anything the 18-year-old does. I do realize I have to pay longer for it.
You look younger than that.
But
it's not fair.
But it works. It works.
You've proven.
This is how I eat. That's the reason I'm so excited about teaching it, because this is what I do. I struggle with it, but everybody's going to struggle with it. It is a philosophy that you adapt and you practice at it.
So
and you learn as you go.
If someone comes to you strictly for, they want personal coaching, lifestyle coaching, they may not be a chiropractic patient of yours.
That's correct.
So you see a little of everybody, plus you have a massage therapist.
That's correct. She, again, she's been out at 14 years, and she also just moved back to the state with her family.
Really?
And so we're kind of just, we're in the trenches right now, getting out there, getting our faces in the community and letting people know who we are and what we do. And
well, you have a nice introductory offer, so let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, it's just to get your foot through the door. To see me is $25. That's all it costs.
Okay.
That's consultation, examination,
reasonable.
And your first chiropractic adjustment. And that's usually close to $100, and so you're saving a lot of money there.
Okay.
Our regular adjustment fee is $35, and so if you're on a series of treatments for whatever particular condition you may have, that's what you can expect. And then as far as the massage side of it, she is offering a $35 first-time 1-hour massage.
That's good.
That's really reasonable. It's very cheap.
Reasonable.
And the whole philosophy behind this is to come in and try us out and see if you like what we do.
Okay.
We're a hands-on profession, and so you have to feel comfortable with who you're with. and you have to communicate clearly with them, and that way you build trust, and that's what we're all about. We want to build trust with our patients.
That is, I think, really one of the number one things in our community. People want to like you, and they want to trust you.
And they want a good deal.
And they want a good deal. That's true.
We are in Utah County, after all.
It's true.
Where everybody drives 10 miles to save a buck.
That's it. And if you can't offer a good deal, you better think of one.
Well, we think we're offering a good deal, and I think we believe that people will like us, but they have to come try us out, and that's the big thing.
All right, let's give this number again, 801-377-2344. 801-377-2344. And located in Pinnacle Park, and just call them. They'll tell you how to get there. That's easy enough. And we've got about 10 minutes left, and we're not taking a break because I really wanted to have you share some of your life, because everybody has a burden, lots of burdens and things that we didn't plan. We wouldn't have written the scripts in most cases that we're living through. But in your case, I liked your attitude. It's such a good attitude, and you've overcome some obstacles. And there are people dealing with children now that they do not know how to deal with them. Autism has been a mystery for so many years, and people look at you and say there is no cure. So would you share what has happened to you in your lifetime with your own personal family? Because I know it's made you stronger, more humble, more appreciative. And yet you've got a daughter. Well, you tell the story.
Well, I have 5 children, 3 daughters and 2 boys. The 3 daughters are older than the boys. Our first child was diagnosed autistic. We knew we had a different child. I won't go into the causes because that's a whole different topic.
We'll do that another time.
Yeah, another time for that. But the first daughter was autistic and had some real challenges. And as first-time parents, we didn't know what to do. And 20 years ago, there wasn't a lot of information about autism. We didn't know where to go. We were fortunate enough to find a school right there in St. Louis where I was going to chiropractic school called the Howard Park Institute, and they were connected with another organization called Judivine, and that's where we really started learning about autism. Judivine.
Okay.
And we started learning. They were great individuals. They showed us a lot of sensory and motor retraining techniques that really worked for our daughter Nicole, and slowly but surely, and she'd get better and she'd get worse and get better, and it was just a revolving door. It was very frustrating for a lot of years. She didn't speak for a long time. And we started using sign language and verbalization of sign language, and eventually she started coming out of this disability, and that's just early intervention.
You saw that by way of communication?
Yeah, the communication is the huge gap, and then there's a lot of food allergies there. There's a lot of problems that we don't really understand, but it is a form of brain damage. And that's why early intervention is so critical with these kids. The earliest you can get them in and start retraining their brains to think, sensory and motor-wise, these kids will pull out of a lot of these disabilities.
Now, this was your oldest daughter?
That's correct.
Okay, and she wound up going on?
You can't tell that she's autistic at this point. She's a little quirky, but I think that works in her favor. She just finished her first year at BYU, and she is now the Mickey Mouse character performer at Disney World Orlando.
I love it. I just love it. Yeah. A kid in a kid's heart.
Yeah, kid's heart. And she's only 5 foot tall, so they like her.
Little
she's
tiny
short.
thing.
That's
oh,
correct.
Bless her heart. So she's working.
Yep.
And now it's your 2 boys that you're working with.
The 2 boys, and the 2 boys unfortunately have other disabilities. The 10-year-old Nathan has some brain damage and some lung defects, heart defects, and so he struggles, and it's harder for him to respond to therapies because of the other disabilities. But we think that he'll be with us the rest of his life. He's a little more severe, but he's happy, and he's responded again to the early intervention techniques that we've used.
And food again plays a very important part, it seems, too.
The boys are gluten and dairy intolerant, so they're on a complete gluten and dairy-free diet, which was very difficult.
Because everybody has to make the change.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, that's very true. You have to change as a family, not completely, but eventually you learn how to work it, and you learn some recipes, and it was a very difficult road to take to finally figure out how to feed these kids and keep the nutrient level in their bodies up. That was the hard thing, is to not have them have these huge reactions to food and still
Which
keep them healthy
takes them
enough.
up and down, yeah.
And
So if people know someone, or we seem to have a lot of autistic children in the Valley, may they call you?
They can. I can direct them towards some good websites and so forth. I won't do it on air here, just
Right.
because there's so many to mention. And my wife, who's just there's very few people that know more about autism than my wife Elizabeth, and she's really taken off with the autistic programs and does a lot with the autistic kids. Really very knowledgeable and runs some websites.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to give your number, and then you can help folks along the way find the right information, get your wife maybe,
and
and create, or many of them belong to groups. It's 801-377-2344, 377-2344. You certainly have had your experiences, and I'm glad you're back in the Valley. I think this is going to be fun.
It's good to be home.
I want to bring you on where you can get technical about all of these things, where we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff to discuss where you can get a little deeper and really start to, and it's not tough to understand. It's just that there's so much to know about every aspect of chiropractic and eating and so forth.
Well, and I do have a group of friends that are really interested in this, and maybe there's a way we can somehow put this all together and bring it on the air.
Sure.
And talk about it in the future coming. So, again, I'm speaking with Dr. Darren, Darren Obrey.
That's right.
It sounds very French.
It is French.
Oh, okay. Good for me.
I'm actually a mutt. I have a lot of different heritage.
You're a mutt?
Yeah, proudly.
Obrey, and his number is 801-377-2344. He's located in Pinnacle Park, just off of State Street on the Provo-Orm Hill. And we're glad you're back in town. And I would like to talk about this lifestyle coaching personally, and then I'd like to come on and share what happens, because I have to make a decision here. I'm not going to see 60 again at all. And so what I'd like to do is to try, in the years I have left, get it right and work with somebody that's a really good coach. And nobody's ever offered that before. They say, do this and do this and do this, and let me know how it comes out. Thank you for being with us today. And again, our hours at Sheranian Broadcasting, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.